Okay, that's a big yawn, Hallie. We're lying in here inside of Zach's Octoteak from Luxe Hiking Gear. Getting ready to stoke the fire. It is cold. You see my breath? Do you know the specs on all this? Or have you forgotten?
I don't know the exact diameter and stuff like that. I didn't really pay attention to that, but you can sleep up to 6 people without the stove. It's a 3-person tent with the stove, and it's seal nylon with ripstop, so really lightweight. The tent with the pole and the stakes all together, I think was like 3.6 pounds, and then the stove itself I think was like another 2.4 or 2.5.
The thing is light though.
So it folds up. I just put it together before we got out here so we could get going pretty quick. But yeah. So
we're gonna
burns hot.
Start stoking some fire here. What's the magic for getting the fire started today?
We're gonna use the pyro putty. And the shoe wax can. Winter blend.
Stuff's awesome.
So it's a little bit more pliable in the winter, I think, is the difference between the winter blend and the summer blend. I've got a little bit of both. But what I like to do is put it on a piece and then stick it in there. Come out of the frickin' woods and we got a chain gang over there. Probably funded by us.
It's either the gravel operation or else they're chaining, but there's some heavy equipment down the road a ways.
It's probably what, 10 at night?
Yeah.
Who the freak gets to work at 10 at night? Anyways,
some people. Brought me a little peak refuel. Some chicken and rice for dinner. I haven't tried this one yet. Pretty excited for that.
I'm gonna cook me some kielbasa and some potatoes.
Zach eats
cook
well
on the stove. Might as well.
I'll probably eat quicker though.
Probably.
So what do you got there? You just pulled some.
So pulled some. You want to get the fibrous layers out of it. Kind of pull it apart a little bit, and I just stick it. That's what's awesome about it too, is it will stick. And then McCade has their fancy lighter, which I don't know how to use.
Push the button up on that silver part
right here. Yeah. Ooh.
We used this stuff in Colorado this year after Jeff killed the buck, and it was awesome.
Yeah. Waterproof.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to burn for quite a while, so if you have any dry, or you need to dry out some, just put it out.
There you go.
Catch, baby, catch.
Well, we're laying in bed. Titanium stove over there is glowing. Can't really see on this, but the stovepipe is glowing red, but it is. Nice and toasty. Should be a good night. We'll update you in the morning. Hours? What are you looking at? Oh, Zach's got some breakfast cooking.
Hey, look at my beard. Sleeping on it.
It's funky.
Okay, so it's daylight now. We stayed the night inside the Luxe, and so now we're just gonna kind of go over some of the outside specs of it. Clearly, as you can see, this is the front door. Okay, zips down all the way, and these here are called snow skirts. So if you really wanted an airtight shelter, you can kick some snow up onto these snow skirts. Really kind of encloses it, doesn't allow any hot air or anything to kind of escape. And this year on the rifle hunt, my first time using it, I didn't do that. I had to use like rocks and stuff to keep it down, but the first night I didn't, and there was 70-mile-an-hour winds, and it was just blowing right underneath, and I was freezing. So that's kind of a nice feature. A lot of people will fold them up under just to get added ventilation, just because of that carbon monoxide fear, but it's just up to you. You have many different guy out points. You have some of this here that you can use. You have the top parts. This here is just to kind of roll back the front door and to clip it. There's a hook on the inside, but you can guy it out there. And then down here you got some reinforced stitching here where you can guy it out. And we have it pitched a little too taut right now to really kind of show you, but you can pull this out and actually give yourself, if you were to do this on every single panel on all 8 sides, it'd probably give you an extra 2.5 feet of space inside the tent. One of the features that comes with this on the door is this here. It's just a little stick, just to kind of give it, stick it out here, and then this is where you have your no-seam mesh up under there. Just a little added bonus for ventilation. Some of you guys last night were talking about the material on the stove jack, and as you can see, you have a flap here, kind of folds down, so if you have snow or rain, it can kind of block any precipitation from falling directly down into the tent. There's the added ventilation point here. You can pull it out. If you don't want it, you can tighten it, close it off. I always roll it back just to make sure that it doesn't collapse in on itself. But just to kind of walk around. The Luxe, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but you can pay like an extra $150 and they'll seam seal your tent for you. I'm pretty sure Seek Outside's the same way, but I just seam sealed it myself, set it up in the summertime, ran some seam sealer down it, so it is 100% waterproof for sure. But just an easy, you got your tension points here where you put in your tent stakes, so you can adjust the tension of the pitch. You can loosen, and then just really simple to pull it back. Me and my dad last weekend, we had these guy out points pulled pretty good. They held just fine. So in a windy situation, probably perfect just to give your shelter a little bit more stability. But now let's go inside the tent. Okay. So as you can see, there's a lot of space in here. These black cords here, just to kind of help you as you first get your shelter, to kind of help you figure out the right tension. When you are setting up the tent, you only want to put in probably 4 of the 8 stakes before you put up the pole. If you do all of them, you're not going to have enough slack to be able to get your pole up appropriately. Obviously you can see where the stove is, that it's important to have your stove properly secure or balanced throughout the night, because you're going to burn a lot of snow and you're going to get down to dry ground and we just used 2x4s to kind of give it some balance, and then it just sunk throughout the night there. But like I said, if you were to pull out the tension on all one of these panels, you could give yourself probably an extra 2.5 feet of floor space throughout. So me and McCade were trying to figure out how we would get 3 people in here while using the stove and our equipment. And I mean, you can look, you could sleep here towards the front, 2 people, and then maybe 1 person this way. We slept this long ways last night, and then we had my dog's bed right here, so it took up a lot of space. So it was kind of hard to see how much room is in here. But as you can see, you can, enough headspace to sit up. I was just kneeling, probably about 5 feet of headroom at the peak, but this does the job. Like I said, it's got the ripstop material. You can see it sewn in to the sill nylon. These little squares just kind of stops any tears. I accidentally drug my knife across the side of this last night, and it stood up to it pretty good. It's not the sharpest knife, but still has a pretty good point on it. So anyways, just wanted to give you guys an idea of the floor space inside the tent, some of the features on the outside of the tent, and just kind of how it sets up. And then next we're gonna take it down, we're gonna put it in the stuff sack, put the stove away into its little zipped up bag, and just give you guys an idea of how compact and how lightweight this backcountry hunting setup really can be. Spark arrestor. Well, we just got everything packed up. Kind of did a rush job on it, but you could get it even more small, but that's the product number and everything there. But packs up to like a probably regular size tent, I would say. 3-person tent. And then the stove, just like that. So yeah, I'd say probably all together about probably 6-7 pounds, I would think. So yeah, fits nice and tidy for how big of a floor spot you got. So yeah, shoot us any questions if you guys have any. But this is the way to go in the backcountry. Takes a little bit of time, but it's money when you need it the most.